I think Hanamura was their map. I mean, Payload could be a great option, but I honestly felt like Hanamura was their map, and it was just a lack of communication. They all must have thought that someone was on the point, and they had a little bit of time to catch their surroundings. Because I honestly, at Hanamura, they played the best, I thought.
Yeah.
All worked as a team, and I say bring it right back at them. Throw Volsky at their face. Throw Temple and Nubis at their face. Let's see what these guys are really made of.
Or the new map, even? Have they been practicing that? That could be very interesting.
That could. You bring up a good point, because if Zarya Academy has been practicing those types of map and practicing Horizons, and Overwatch Divas, that could really throw them for a loop. That could be that's the maps they like. And if they've been practicing it, I mean, I don't personally like the map, but I would actually love to see it. Oh, we're going to Oasis, it seems. So we're going to another King of the Hill.
Interesting.
TBK, what do you think about Oasis for a King of the Hill?
As far as King of the Hill maps go, this is actually one of my least favorite maps. Just because there's not a lot of room to really maneuver around. I've seen some great strategies and whatnot. Oh, now we've switched to
Okay,
Ilios.
so we're switching to Ilios. So reverse what you just said. Now, how much do you like Ilios, TBK? Because I know you do.
Yeah, I do. This used to be my absolute favorite map just because it's the brighter one. You know, you can see everybody way easier and so many spots to knock people off. What I think is going to be really key on this particular map is if Mean Green decides to go with the Orisa again, he's going to have so many opportunities, whether it be the well like we're on right now, to just pull people in or pull people off of the map. I think that if he comes out with that, he's going to be able to do a fair amount of work.
Speaking of Orisa, you do see SNK going on to Orisa, which is, I mean, like I said, I do like the pick. I'd much rather see SNK on Reaper just because he's always a damaging force. I haven't seen him play much Orisa, but I mean, if he's just as good, then you're going to have a lot of trouble coming from SNK here.
Well, and I think that as far as Overwatch Divas goes, right now you have a possibility of Orisa pulling you off. You have Firing Wolf on Lucio to boop you in. You got Leviosa being able to boop you with Pharah, and then you have a Diva as well to be able to knock people into the pit. So, I mean, you have so many opportunities to knock somebody off and into the well that this is going to be something you have to be on your toes on the side of the right now.
And Leviosa gets the first environmental kill as Serious Dawn gets pumped right into the well.
You know, the one thing that we didn't talk about, fellas, is that exotic artillery is coming in. He hasn't played all game. It seems like he just got home in time for game number 4, and he is playing on that side for.
And yeah, and
for his team.
My apologies, viewers. I did not even see that. So yeah, exotic artillery is in on the Reaper, already at 70% to all. Is doing some work for his team right now.
Very interesting. This could really change and tilt the game itself. But lots of rockets coming in from both exotic aces, as well as Leviosa. They're trying to put on as much damage as they can. And they did capture that first point. And it looks like Michael Yee's just in the back, trying to keep Sumarak alive and just throwing around those orbs as best as he can.
And Leviosa already coming out with a huge barrage, getting both a healer and a tank. Definitely two big targets. And the rest of the team just cleaning up. Bro Monkey just swinging that hammer around and clobbering people. I think the switch from SNK onto that Reaper was definitely a great change into the roster. I mean, maybe a hit scan is needed, but I mean, neither side has it to counter the enemy Pharah, so other than a Reaper.
I don't understand. I'm thinking to myself, we need a soldier, we need a McCree, and we also need a Discord. Leviosa is just destroying us as well as their Mercy. Like, how do we get them down?
Well, I mean, right now, the only difference between the two teams is a Roadhog versus a Reinhardt. So, I mean, both sides are kind of dealing with the same thing. The only difference is, you know, Overwatch Divas doesn't have to deal with Leviosa. like they have to. I'm sorry, you're kidding.
Exactly. Big pick out the air. Leviosa just destroying Exotic Aces mid-air. Couple direct shots right over the center of the map.
Well, SNK comes in with a huge death loss, getting two, knocking Samrak out of mech, not getting any. It was more of a pick off just to get the back and immediately back out of it.
So much action here on the point. They're trying their best that they can to take it, but they are starting to trickle in a little bit. I'd really like to see them group up.
All systems checked out.
There you go. Fireball is telling this team what to do, it seems like.
Yeah, but you have Leviosa waiting in the wings right there. They're kind of funneled into this tight spot. So I mean, if you get a damage boosted Pharah, you're going to get demolished right then. There she goes, taking out both the healer and the tank again. That healer being Mercy that has res. So huge pick.
Somebody just come close.
Now it's just going to be on a little bit of trickle on offense here, seeing if they could squeak out a quick tap or somehow turn this around. Got Michael Yee coming in with a huge double res right now, bringing back Exotic and Mean Green for healer and Reaper.
And Exotic immediately takes out that Reinhardt. Sumrak does take out the opposing Diva, and it looks like they're going to take this point back. Good, nice play there.
Matt Gruber comes in with a huge double res, but SNK goes down right after that res, which is unfortunate because now he's out for 10 seconds and then the walk back.
See, and that's another time that I wish they would have just went ahead, held the res, so everybody pulled back, got together, and then they would have had a huge advantage going into this next fight.
Yeah, it was kind of a not a good res. Not to be blunt about it, but I just really think they could have just backed up, waited for them to spawn, and have that res coming in.
Yep, because unfortunately right now, it looks like they're trying to group up, but they're grouping up a little bit too close to the point. And then the side of Zarya Academy is starting to push in. Leviosa, though, getting two people coming out with the barrage to pick up the third onto Michael Yee. Huge plays coming from Leviosa right now.
Very
Those
huge play.
picks, yeah, those picks I think is what's going to allow them to capture this point in this first map. However, Sumrak coming in as well as Exotic Artillery, trying to do the best that they can to keep this point alive for their team, but they're just trickling in so much that I don't think they have enough manpower. But a big res
Huge
coming in from Michael Yee.
Huge res.
Well, and I don't know if anybody knows, but Exotic Aces actually finally switched to get a hit scan on their side. I think it's helping out a little bit, at least to cause a distraction, because Leviosa can't do as much running around freely as he had been. I don't know if it's going to be enough. It might be too little too late, to be honest.
Like pulling in that pick, but maybe they can take it. But Bro Monkey does come in with a hammer down. Mean Green is circling the inside. However, he doesn't jump out of the well fast enough. And they lose that point again.
You hate to see it because there were three people all right there. And it looks like he actually just had somebody leave the game, so we might need to pause it.
He's already back
There he is
connected.
again. But yeah, I mean, that's the third time that we've had people that were all around the point and just didn't quite make it on in time.
And I can't put all the blame on Zarya Academy for not doing so, because they could have thought they were on, because Chance, how many times have we been playing where we could be standing in the middle of the point and it still ends the game? It's
Right,
just,
yeah, no,
really,
I completely understand. It's just, I think that they could have had one person, maybe the baby diva or somebody like that, they could have just bit the bullet, stayed on point for the diva ult and let everybody else get back on too. But everybody scattered so far to get away from the diva bomb, they just didn't have time to get back on.
no. that could have been. I mean, that could very well be, but I do think that in a future PPR, hopefully they can update it to where if you're actually standing on the point, you actually get credit for it.
The objective is now.
Wow, exotic artillery just picking off that Reinhardt, doing a nice job on Roadhog. I think they're kind of playing a little bit angry right now. I mean, they're all just focus firing, and they're all just trying to go off as best as they can. I do like the Roadhog pick to try and pull in SNK, or even try and pick out Leviosa from the sky. Hopefully it works out for them, but we're going to have to wait and see.
You know,
Well,
they
and I
have to
think
play with
now
some
that-
anger now. Go ahead, Chance.
And now that we finally have a soldier on the side of Zarya Academy, I mean, immediately takes that first point. Immediately, you know, kind of taking care of Leviosa. He's not going to have that free reign like we talked about earlier. I think this is really what they needed all along, is have something to just shut him down.
Absolutely.
And if you can't shut him down, at least just harass him so he can't do what he does.
Yeah, I completely agree. If you're not going to kill him, at least make it where he can't come out without having to watch him.
That's a sound barrier coming in, and a rocket barrage coming in by Leviosa does take out the Mercy as well as the Hog, doing a very nice job. But Exotic Aces responds by taking out Matt Gruber playing that Mercy. Nice defense, to be quite honest with you. I thought they were going to lose it there for a second. However, they were able to maintain and keep it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they still
we
do have alt economy. Yeah.
Right, 3 ults on the side of Zarya Academy, so 1 on the side of Overwatch Divas. I mean, now they have 3, but it's just something that they're starting to really be able to manage them well. I don't know if it's the fact that they finally got their player that they've played with, you know, more often. If it's, they finally got him back or what it is, but it's really nice to see this cohesion come about.
No doubt. At 88% to 0, this is the first time we're starting to see them dominate a little bit. And exotic artillery coming out with the whole Hog, however, is being eaten up by hyper-sensitivity. But he does pick off SNK, and that's a big pick. However, Matt Gruber doesn't bring SNK back to life with that Mercy. And that's why, folks, you see a double 3 picks coming out from SNK right there, and they are able to take that point.
And I don't know if you saw what Leviosa did there to help SNK. When SNK finished the Diva off as she was coming out of mech, Leviosa just booped her a little too far off the edge where the baby Diva couldn't stay alive as well. And that's just expertise coming out to play right there. And I love seeing it.
No. Now they've got this point on lock. Think that they'll be able to take this one?
Did someone call a doctor?
Well, they did get a pick, and Michael Yee did bring back Exotic Aces just to keep it a fair fight, but now it's pretty much pick for pick here, but
I feel like that was a panic ult by that Diva, because as soon as he ulted, he did jump backwards to the environment. And that may do it. But Firewolf coming in the best that they can, trying to contest this point as a Lucio, but does get picked off by Exotic Artillery. That's a morale boost for them.
oh, definitely coming back from losing 2 games, losing the first point of this. Now they finally got one type of win under their belt, and I think it's just going to snowball from here because I feel like they're playing with such anger and such drive to want to get this championship belt. I feel like we're going to see a different team here, especially with the addition of Exotic Artillery, someone they have played with quite a bit since he is on their team, and then they don't have to play with a sub anymore. Not saying the sub didn't do a great job, just saying there's going to be a little bit more team cohesion there.
You know, if I was them, I would have been pretty frustrated, maybe a little bit tilted. But, you know, with artillery coming in, a fresh face saying, hey guys, whoa, let's slow down for a second. Let's regroup, you know. I don't know if that's what's happening, but I can imagine that going on because they played much, much better. And they seem to focus a lot better that last game. There's lots of action
SNK
going on.
Looks like he actually opted to go for a soldier instead of a Reaper right now. Matt Cooper just fell off of the map. I don't know quite what happened, but Leviosa's getting taken down as well. This is not the same team that we watched play Lijiang Tower, if I do say so. I mean, they do have a fire within them that are really starting to, hold their own. Great to finally see again.
Well, you
No
see
doubt.
a couple of their teammates have switched up the roles of what they've been playing. Exotic Aces was on tanks, I believe, earlier. And he switched over to soldier. Maybe he was just on another hit scan, but him playing soldier really seems to be a force to be reckoned with here, especially making sure Leviosa stayed at bay with him playing Pharah. But you do
No
see
doubt.
that Leviosa switched off of Pharah during the beginning of this match and then switched on to Tracer, who almost has a pulse bomb, which is a great pick by Leviosa.
And SNK getting taken down immediately after he popped that backlight.
Exotic Ace is doing a nice job. Mean Green's doing a nice job on the point, trying to stay alive as best as he can. I find it very curious that he switched to Lucio since we haven't seen him play this at all this whole year. But he's doing a very nice job of staying alive and being a nuisance for his team to try and capture these points.
Yeah, he really is, and I do like the switch by Furious Dawn going onto a Reaper. I know he's been playing Reaper this entire match, but just from the earlier maps, he wasn't playing Reaper. He was playing some tanks. He's playing Hanzo, but he's really showing out here as Reaper on Helios.
I honestly just spectated Mean Green that entire time, watching him run around almost uncontested. Just how much work he's honestly putting in.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy to watch it.
Yeah, I would completely agree with you on that one. He's doing a nice job staying alive and just trying to divert attention away from everybody. And he's putting in quite a bit of damage. I mean, even as a Lucio, he's doing a nice job. And he's bringing, it looks like he's trying to taxi his team and bring everybody together for this next team fight.
And I just started spectating Bro Monkey in it again, and his play on Lijiang Tower was phenomenal. He's doing the same thing here on Helios, and I just feel like he's underrated right now because not a lot of the eyes are on him, but he is doing a hell of a lot for his team, and it's just really great to see. So, got to keep an eye out on Bro Monkey because watching the work that he's doing.
Your support has arrived.
They need to get on that point, though. 98, 99. Mean Green does ult. Provides a sound barrier to his team to protect them for a short amount of time. But Bro Monkey coming in, just as you were saying. With that ult, however, Hyper Toad, just a huge Diva Bomb, clearing off that point.
Oh,
And Sumrak going in with that Diva ult as well, not conserving it very well, trying to stay alive for his team. And with that, they get pushed off the point and they lose that point.
Yeah, I thought that the Soldier 76 was going to be able to make it back on. It looked like he just kind of ran around the back of the little bridge there, and unfortunately it was not on the point again when needed to be. I don't know what they need to do. I don't know if they need to rock a May or something like that, just something that freezes themselves on there. They have got to stay on that point.
It
I
really has
like
been the
May.
downfall of Sorry You're Kidding Me this entire time because just not staying on the point has lost them 2 games. Just lost them 2 points on Helios. They have to stay on the point.
And it looks like they're the first ones to the point to begin with. They're trying to lay some fire down. Hopefully they can take this one. Big pull by Exotic Artillery to pull Bro Monkey into the well. That's a nice first pick for his team. And maybe they can take this point to begin with.
The objective is now
There it is. They are able to take that first point. Nice job. I see Mean Green going back to that Mercy that we all know and love him on. And he almost already has that res. He knows how to keep his team alive whenever he's playing her.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. He is, like you said in the beginning, he is one of the best Mercies in the league right now, and can build that all quicker than I've ever seen, and just make sure their team stays alive for however long it needs to be.
Yep.
Looks like Leviosa actually decides to switch over to a Genji as well. I don't quite know about that. I mean, SNK is doing enough work, it seems, to be able to take out the Pharah fairly often. I kind of feel like maybe a double hit scan, or maybe going back to the Pharah that you've been putting in so much work on might have been a better option for him.
My ultimate is charging.
Yeah, I think I would absolutely agree with that. Getting back in the air and maybe putting more pressure on them, because as it stands right now, Zarya Kid is doing a great job capturing this point and holding it off.
Yeah, I think what Leviosa was thinking with the Genji is just trying to backline the supports a little bit more. I know Pharah could do the same thing, just harass from above, but I think he wanted a more up-close and personal type of feel when it comes to backlining these supports. So one thing I could think of was switching to Genji here.
And a big pick by Leviosa on Exotic Artillery, playing that Roadhog. He's done a very nice job staying on that point, staying alive. But again, going back to Mean Green, just keeping his team alive on that point, and he has his res again. And there goes Leviosa, ulting his Genji, but is taken out immediately by Exotic Aces.
Now, Leviosa, though, was able to buy enough time to get those reinforcements back in there on that overtime. So definitely a great move to go ahead and pop that blade, even if you weren't going to, even though he didn't do a ton with it, he was still able to pull those reinforcements so that maybe they can pull that point back.
Always too overconfident.
Yeah, but there goes it. Exotic Aces and Exotic Artillery picking up the last two kills that were on the point. Little help from Furious Dawn with the barrage coming down. So I don't know. You see them bouncing back and forth between two different teams, it seems like. Sorry, you're kidding me. And it's all going to come down to this map. One more win, and that's going to win the match.
Yeah, see, this is honestly what I expected to see on Lijiang Tower, going to the 2-2 and having, one final map decider. I didn't think you were going to have the 3-0 sweep like we did. This is the team that I expected to see after Iconhome. And this is what is putting up a great fight.
Yeah, no doubt. Exotic Artillery was Winston there at the end of that last match. However, he does switch back to Roadhog. I was hoping to see a little more Winston play, because Winston he takes out those support characters just like nobody else in the game, it seems like. But he does get that first hook onto Hypertope Killer.
Now, brother, you have Leviosa on Sombra. I know you're a Sombra connoisseur. What do you think of the pick here on Helios?
I mean, it's a great pick. I like to see her more so on Ruin. That's fucked up, but I mean, if you can pull
you already have EMP out. EMP was just activated. He killed his ult in the first 30 seconds of that. Do you think it's a viable pick now on this map?
Yeah, no, I mean, I still do. I kind of would rather see, though, instead of having two support and the Sombra, I would almost rather see just one support, and then use Sombra as the other one, and then just constantly feed that ult. Because if you get the EMP as quick as he just did, you're going to shut things down every single time.
Did someone call it?
Yeah, I could agree with that. I do like seeing, I mean, a Mercy and a Sombra would definitely be fine for heals, especially with the health pack being right outside this point, and another big health pack to either your right or your left. So, I definitely could see why you would only want one support and have an extra slot for a different type of hero.
Exotic artillery going whole hog on the point, has hooked SNK twice, but
Matt
SNK
Gruber
does
with a
take him
huge
out there.
res, followed by
Huge res, no doubt.
and to break it down. So you have both support ults already coming out. And it looks like that's going to be enough to keep this point alive for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and right now, if Leviosa can get that EMP back up, if I were him, what I would be doing is waiting for the sound barrier to come out, and then just as soon as it does, pop it and get rid of it. That is such a beautiful thing about Sombra, is that she completely negates the sound barrier. So I think if she can go ahead and do that, they're going to end up winning this match off that next push.
She did just use it. She's already back at 56%. So, I mean, I really feel like she is going to be able to grab it back here soon.
And a big rocket barrage coming in by Furious Dawn. And a hammer down coming in by Reinhardt, but it's not enough because exotic artillery does hook him and kill him. And they now take this point, but it is 99% to 10% now. They need to put up some major defense here and hold this if they even want to think about winning this championship.
Yeah, for
See, and
sure.
that was another ult by the Reinhardt that it just comes down to, look, you're already losing this fight, you might as well save it up and go in together. There's no point in him going ahead and throwing down that hammer down when he only had a little bit of health and he was by himself on the point. Kind of maybe communication was not on point right there. I don't know, but I think if they can draw back and go ahead and gain those ults.
Yeah,
Real
no
quick,
doubt. They looks like they are starting to
50%
group up there. Yeah,
50% has gone by. And they haven't even tried doing anything. You have an EMP coming out. I don't really think you got too many people in there because he's kind of far away from the grouping of Zarya hitting you.
But what may have just gone unnoticed was exotic artillery did pick off SNK as Reaper. He pulled him across and dumped him off the side of the map, and I thought what was going to happen was a little Sombra EMP plus a little SNK Death Blossom, but he was just deleted by the Roadhog. Nice job by Roadhog pulling him off the side of the map and keeping his team alive, because I'm pretty sure that Death Blossom was about to drop.
So now you have a Death Blossom and a Res coming in on the side of Overwatch Divas, and you have a Res and a Diva Bomb on the side of Zarya Kidding Me. So it's going to come down to who does their ults better. Now you have a barrage ready by Furious Dawn.
Well, and SNK getting knocked off the map yet again, too.
Nice job by Furious Dawn, Rocket Barrage, but Matt Gruber coming in with a 3 res.
Yeah, EMP
follow
coming
right
out.
after that.
The EMP was just a second too late. Had he popped that right before then, they wouldn't have got the res off. They would have been able to get rid of most of the team.
There goes SNK with that Death Blossom. He's going to try and take out that Roadhog. And he does. It is successful. And they are capturing that point, and they do take the map.
I thought it was really interesting between both the Roadhog and the Lucio on the side of Zarya Kidding Me. I think they realized that we might not be able to shoot SNK down, but if we get him off the map, there's no way to survive. So that's what we got to do. That's what it seemed like. They just kept throwing him off.
Yeah, they did focus SNK down pretty well, but they kind of forgot about Leviosa. I don't think they were ready for the Sombra play, and he really did a heck of a job as Sombra. Built his ult quickest I've ever seen. Just hacking the right health packs, hacking the right people, building it quick. I think he had 5 or 6 EMPs during that entire game. So it was a great play by Leviosa, and they didn't really have anything to counter him. He was just shutting ults down and abilities down left and right. So here it is. It is Overwatch Divas with a 3-0 over Zarya Kidding Me. This next map could decide the fate of the finals right now. So it's up to Zarya Academy once again to pick the map. Where do you think it's going, Raging Bull?
Man, I said it beforehand. I hope that they change it up. Both maps have been working for them. They had a 2 CP that just didn't work. They got close both times with a draw, and then they lost on Hanamura. They've lost twice on this capture point or King of the Hill or 1 CP, however you want to call it. I think that they need to change it up. They need to throw up some good defense like I've seen all year from them, and maybe play a payload map of some sorts. They didn't fare too well last week on Route 66 and the other payload map that I can't remember. However, I think they just need to change something. They got to change something up and figure out what's going on if they want to stay in contention for this title.
Yeah, I completely agree. I probably would end up going with something maybe like Dorado. Again, a payload only map, something that you don't have a point that you have to stay on, to be honest with you. I think that's probably going to be their best option given, the things that have been happening throughout this entire series.
I don't know if I completely agree with the payload map, because, I mean, you do technically still have to stay on the payload to keep it contested, keep them off of it, but their surroundings are always changing, and there's going to be different variables that you're going to play in on each checkpoint. I feel like if they did another 2 CP map, they'll be able to keep their ground down, but it looks like they are going to go hybrid map, which Kings Row is an excellent hybrid map. I think my favorite hybrid map.
I like this pick. Yep.
Yeah, which I do like this pick as well, but they need some type of familiar ground to get set up on and get their game plan down, because I don't think they're really that good at thinking on the run here. So I think that they need to hold this first point. I feel like if they don't hold this first point, I think Overwatch Divas is just going to be able to take the victory for the finals right on this map.
And their mouth is salivating. Overwatch Divas has said, hey, we were the 8th seed coming into this tournament. You know what? We're going to take it. We're going to take it from them. And Kings Row, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's take this home. We want the belt. We are the champs. So they're going to be playing pretty hard on this last map.
That's not even the full story. Like, they were the 8th seed coming in, but like 2 weeks before the playoffs, they weren't even in playoff, or they were in playoff contentions, but they weren't in the playoffs yet. They crawled from the bottom of the pits, and I'm like, hey, we made it to the playoffs. We have to do what we can to get this belt, and they are surely doing everything possible for them to get this belt. So I have to give props to the way Overwatch Divas has been playing. Zarya Academy has been playing just as well. There's just a little bit of miscommunications here and there that is really their downfall, and it's just sad thing to see, I guess, just because I know a couple of those matches they could have won. They showed the tenacity to win.
No doubt. Ilios, just that last match, I mean, as the most recent example.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
But on defense, we do have a Torb as well as a Symmetra coming in. I do like this pick. Mean Green going back to that Mercy play, and Exotic Artillery playing that Reaper. I think there's enough firepower here for them to hold. However, they got to account for that Leviosa. Leviosa in the sky has been huge for them all game, and if they don't take him out, it's going to be game over.
I'm claiming this objective.
Yeah, and I'm really liking the Hyper Toad opted to go with the Winston, just being able to get on that point as quick as possible. Was able to draw everybody's attention back away from the choke, and they were able to really get on it because of that.
And it looks like they're going to march right in and capture this first one. Very little contestation happening right now. And I think they got it safe and sound with 5.5 minutes to go to the next checkpoint.
That's a lot of time. They took that within the first 45 seconds, and that's a lot of time to get it to the second checkpoint. So,
Let's move.
I don't know.
Oh, somebody left.
Fury Stone left the
Barrier
game.
activated.
Okay.
Coming out with a pause. Well, good thing we have a little pause. It gives us a little time to talk. What does Zarya Academy need to do here right now to make sure they get at least another game in this final series?
Well, I feel like it's the same thing I've said on a good chunk of the maps that we played tonight. It's just a matter of they need some kind of hit scan other than a Reaper to really be able to take out the Pharah, which is Leviosa. I mean, he has done so much work every single time on Pharah. If he goes uncontested, he's going to wipe your team.
Completely agree
yeah.
there. I see Michael Yee coming out as Zenyatta, throwing out those discords on that Pharah and Mercy. Is critical. However, you got to back it up with the right hit scan, and I don't think a Genji and or a Reaper is going to be the ones that you want. So
No,
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, you definitely don't want them to be trying to take. I mean, don't get me wrong, Genji can take out Pharah, but not as easily as a McCree or a Soldier can.
Certainly.
So, I mean, with that then, I would definitely opt for McCree in this point in time. With that orb on her, you can hit 2 to 3 shots and she's done for. And that's what you need.
And it looks like they're just marching this payload right down the street.
There's
Watching
Leviosa
firing.
again.
Yeah,
Only one
Leviosa
pick,
with a big rush.
I mean, it's doing
But
its
that's a
job.
big pick. Yep.
On the bright side, it does look like Sorry Kidding Me did end up. They're going through a triple DPS setup right now, but they were able to finally get a soldier into the mix, so that hopefully they can shut down Leviosa at least a little bit, because you know they have to do something other than what they were doing before.
Yeah, I imagine that Mean Green just said, you know what, I'm going to do the job myself. I'm going to try and throw down some DPS and take Pharah and Mercy out of this guy. Hopefully it works out for him. I guess we're going to wait and see here.
Yeah, so they have 5.5 minutes to cap this. Do you think that Sorry Kidding Me is feeling a little defeated? Because this isn't really what you've seen from Sorry Kidding Me, not through any of these.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely think they feel a little defeated. Last week they had a good showing by Beats by Lucio, but the big thing last week was they had Yami Reaper. Yami Reaper's not playing this match, and maybe that could be a detrimental thing for them. But I'm guessing that they're feeling a little bit defeated because we see Mean Green switching to characters that we haven't seen him play all season, trying to figure out what's going on and help his teammate out the best that he can.
Yeah, I just think there's like specific changes that really need to be happening that weren't. As far as Zarya Kidding goes, you know, comp setup, you have both a Diva and a Roadhog, so 0 shield happening. And then you have a Soldier and a Lucio and a Reaper and a Mercy. And nobody, you know, as far as all 4 of those go, Reaper can at least wraith out, but the rest of them are just kind of standing there out in the open at all times. I think if they are going to run, you know, either a Roadhog or a Diva, they need to at least have a Reinhardt or an Orisa, just something that has a shield. Whereas if you looked at the side of Overwatch Divas, there was one person, there was the Reaper that needed a shield. Everybody else was up and moving, and if all else fails, they could have gotten under the Winston bubble. It's just a matter of if you're going to be running a dive, run a dive, or if you're going to run a death ball, run a death ball. But don't try and do a half-half, because it just doesn't work for you like that.
So it all comes down to what Zarya can do on this offensive push. He was making the entire map with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left to spare. That is a huge amount of time. Even if this were to go into overtime, that's still just so
in 30 seconds.
heartbreaking just to see that they have 4.5 minutes, and unless you can do it in the same amount of time, it's really going to be an unfair fight if it does go into overtime.
No doubt, but they got here for a reason. They're scrappy. Hopefully they can pull back, you know, pin their ears back and just get after it, because I'd really like to see them put this into overtime, and I want to see some more Overwatch being played.
Attack commencing.
For sure, it has been an interesting finals, a close finals at that. I know the score doesn't say so, but I mean, if you've watched any of these matches, minus the exception of this one, they have been close games.
Sniper!
And Mean Green playing Reinhardt. Very interesting. He's going in there. However, he's getting separated and is getting pushed by that Reaper on SNK playing that Reaper. And SNK is trying to take out that Diva as best as he can. And I don't know how he's staying alive there. He does get taken out by Exotic Artillery. And Mean Green taking out Hyper Artillery, playing Diva, at least puts her baby Diva form. But Leviosa in the sky still dominating. Nobody's really accounting for it too much right now.
Yeah, I mean, Zarya Kidding Me has a Widowmaker to try and kind of counter him, but I just feel like it's not doing enough. I think they really need to maybe put on a McCree or a Soldier, something like that.
In range of the objective.
Golly, Somrak taking out Leviosa, shutting down that barrage as well. So they only got
Stay
one.
on the
This is
point.
the only person on the point right now.
Yeah.
And you could tell it looked like he felt a little bit uncomfortable because as a Pharah, kind of being the only one there, looking around like, this is not right, guys.
My ultimate is ready.
And it looks like they're going to take this point successfully. Nice job pressing that offense there. And hopefully they can march it in. But they are wasting precious time by not keeping the maximum amount of people on the point. But Sumrak coming in with a big fire ult, taking out SNK and Vancouver, sending them all the way to the beginning of the beginning of the map for them, which is a very long walk to the payload from where they're at now.
Come on and face me!
And Leviosa just pretty much telling the other team that, or telling his team that they really don't need a hit scan because he is the Pharah counter. He doesn't even care. And just completely taking everybody out. Curious actually getting the headshot on SNK, taking him out of the fight fairly quickly as well. Surprised that they actually didn't switch off of the Widowmaker. Normally it's just a few pick and switch type characters. But, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. And then just like that, being taken out by Leviosa.
The person you're supposed to be trying to take out. That's one thing about I do like Widow in some comps, but you have to make sure you can land those shots no matter what, or he's not really that viable.
But a big res coming in from Mikey pulling up 3 characters. They were almost completely wiped. And Throw Monkey and Mean Green just having a hammer match with each other. But Mean Green has the bigger hammer and smacks him down.
When right now it kind of looks like Zarya Kidding Me is giving them a run for their money as far as their time goes because they look like they can really push this in.
Still going to be less time than Overwatch Divas, but it is going to be another nice amount of time. So
Big pick by
if you get
Furious
that
Dawn
going,
right there.
Getting Leviosa out for another 10 seconds or so, always a good option.
And they're just marching this payload in. I think they're gaining a little bit of confidence here. Doing the best they can. Mean Green playing a nice Reinhardt. I haven't seen this all season, but he's doing a great job.
Now, unfortunately, that is the second Earth Shatter you took directly into a shield. So it's just one of those, whenever you don't play a character that often, you can kind of tell whenever stuff like that happens. So hopefully that doesn't affect too much. They'll just regroup and they'll come back strong again. You just got to watch those shields and make sure that he doesn't put them directly into it.
And you do have Leviosa switched off of Pharah going to the Genji, so I would hope to see Furious Dawn switch off this Widow, give a little bit more help in the DPS range. Maybe, well, not even maybe, a Soldier would definitely be nice here.
Yeah,
No doubt,
and
I
with-
would agree with that.
with Leviosa being that Genji, able to dive into the back line quickly and put in a lot of work, I feel like he's going to give Furious a run for his money. He's going to be up in his face and, you know, in that back line before he even realizes it.
Diva ult coming in. Sumrak having a rocket barrage does take out 3 total. However, they didn't account for the Mercy, and Mercy brings them back up.
Diva
Looks like
out of cases 8 SNKs all, which is fantastic. Kept their team alive after the transcendence was done. And here
It seemed like
just an
every
all-out
ult
brawl
comes out. Yeah, every ult comes out right now. Everything's mitigating each other. I mean, it is ridiculous. And right now, it almost looks like it's going to be Overwatch Divas just don't stay on the point.
And firing will
That could be very helpful. See Bromonkey is swinging away, but gets a good pin. Tries to get him back. Takes Diva out of mech, but she answers with a ult. Still got SMK on the point. He goes down. The Diva Mercy are on the point. Mercy gets picked. Diva just has to go down now. Tracer's coming onto the point. They're doing everything they can to stay on it. Bromonkey gets a hammer down. Not a whole lot comes out of it. Answer hammer down from Mean Green. This time he actually gets it. 2 are picked. But they're still just staying on this point. Mac Weaver doing a good job of killing his team up, making sure they stay alive. He gets picked. They still have a Tracer Reaper on the point though, and they can just hold on. And here comes a Winston, here comes a Diva. Yeah, they're just taking away at that clock, pushing them back. That's an incredibly impressive defensive hold by Overwatch Divas.
Thank you to our guest appearance from Zach of Spades for that in-depth detail of what happened right there on that last push.
30 seconds remaining.
But yeah, I mean, he's absolutely right, though. I mean, they definitely did a great job holding down that defense. They were able to hold them back and stall out so much of that time. It's about a 3-minute ordeal. So great job, as he said, by the defense.
Experience tranquility.
big Mercy res coming in by Mac. Trying to keep his team up and at him. That way they don't have that. That way it doesn't go into overtime. They are able to take a clean victory. However, wow, they were just answered, and they marched that payload right to the point. And we are going into overtime.
3-3. Switching sides.
And this is where it's really going to, it's almost the redemption for Zarya Kiddimi, just because if they do end up capturing that point off the bat, they have to stay on it. Anytime they get off it, it's going to automatically just be done. So this is almost a redemption because they have to be glued to it the entire, the entire set of it.
No doubt. I've seen it done before. I've done it myself. It is absolutely possible. Let's see how scrappy they are, and if they can come back and do this, I think it's in them. This could be a nice match.
And let me ask you guys, it's something you can run a Symmetra on just so you have the added turrets and whatnot, and then possibly get up a teleporter? Or do you think
just because you do need to get people there quicker. It's only a 33% cap. They have 4 minutes and 13 seconds to cap this, only 33%, and they win. You need to keep bodies on that point at all times. I don't care if you trickle on for the entire 4 minutes. If it doesn't let them get the win, that's what you have to do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think they're very conscious of this. You can see most of their team is on the point. They're saying we cannot get this point off. Outside the point is lava, so let's stay on here as best as we can so that we don't die. But unfortunately, they're just getting picked left and right. And Mean Green is about to go down to SNK. And there it is, and it looks like they just got it.
Well, I don't know if you guys noticed, but SNK and his Mercy actually went around the backside, came around behind them, and was able to take out both a Mercy and a Diva before they realized what was going on. That was such a great move to send most of your force in the front and then flank around with a damage boosted Reaper. I mean, that was just beautiful, and I think that's honestly what won them that.
Yeah, I have to completely agree. And like I said, the score might not say so. The score says no sweep, which props to Overwatch Divas. They definitely played the best I've ever seen them play. But I mean, Zarya Academy put up a hell of a fight for all of these matches, and you really had to be a part of it to understand the type of final series this was. It was hard fought. It wasn't just a steamroll, as the score would say. So you have to give it up to both teams. But congratulations to Overwatch Divas. You are the Season 1 OWX League winners of the finals.
Yeah, as he said, just a complete hard-fought battle. I mean, it was just one of those, the fact that you can go and have a tie on the first map, do a King of the Hill and go into all 5. I mean, cap both points on a few maps. It's just one of those, it was so close no matter what that scoreboard says. As he had said, it was a knockout, drag-out fight.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Fantastic showing. It was a fun game to commentate. It was a fun game to be a part of. I know it was fun for the viewers. Well, I want to give a big shout out to Salt and Pepper for streaming this game and doing all the fancy stuff he is doing on Twitch right now to make this look pretty for the entirety of our viewers here. So a big shout out to Salt and Pepper. I want to give a big shout out to OWX League J for setting this whole season up, setting up this whole league and making this possible, because if it wasn't for him, guys, none of us would be here. So I just want to give a big shout out to Overwatch X League J.
Huge shout out, Jay. Absolutely.
Because I know everybody that was part of this season enjoyed this thoroughly. So I can't wait for season 2. It's going to be great, but we're not done. We have to recap this stuff right now because, I mean, seriously, who's getting MVP? Because, I mean, there's so many standouts. I don't know if I can choose. I need to hear your guys' thoughts first. So why don't we go ahead with Raging Bull?
It's Matt Gruber, no doubt, playing Mercy. He kept his team alive, did a phenomenal job. If it wasn't for him, his DPS wasn't putting in the work that they were doing. Love seeing the reses that came from him. Matt Gruber, hands down.
All right, and TBK brother, what about yourself?
So I was going to say Matt Gruber. However, after the first couple matches, SNK really just kind of took over every time when he was on that Reaper. He did not give Matt Gruber an opportunity to do a good chunk of those reses because he killed everybody else first. So I would end up saying SNK for the sheer amount of force that he put into it. What about you, Artificer?
It's definitely tough because I want to give it to Leviosa. I want to give it to Matt Gruber. I want to give it to SNK. So
their whole team was so good.
Yeah, they really played well together. Can I give the MVP to communication on the side of Overwatch Divas? No, I'm just kidding. But I'm definitely gonna have to give it up to Matt Gruber. Matt Gruber did an excellent job. He really knew. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw at least 2 5-people reses. I don't think he ever got a res less than 3 people unless it was for an obvious reason, which was the SNK, where they ended up taking the point back anyway. So I'm definitely going to have to give it up to Matt Gruber. Yeah, Matt Gruber kept his team alive, made sure Leviosa could stay doing what he was doing, and that was just completely harassing everybody on the opposite team, and same with SNK. So, yeah, I give it to Matt Gruber on this one.
Yeah, and as I said, it was definitely a tough decision. Now, as far as Zarya Academy goes, I would honestly probably end up saying Mean Green would be their MVP. The reason why is because Mean Green switched through so many different characters. Whatever his team needed, he played. Even though he's a support main. I mean, heck, right there at the end of King's Row during the play of the game, he got a 5-piece as a Reinhardt, which is something that doesn't happen, especially if you just play supports anyway. Like, it was just, he did what he was needing to do. Unfortunately, it just, it wasn't enough as far as this whole team goes, but he put in so much work.
Yeah, and I shout out on Zari Kenemi as well. I do agree with Mean Green, but I also want to say Exotic Aces. Exotic Aces did switch through a lot of characters, and he actually found once he settled into the soldier role, he really, really helped out his team. On the side of Overwatch Divas, though, I do want to give a shout out to because Bro Monkey, I watched him majority of the time
for
on
sure.
some maps, and he just the stuff that he did, keeping his team alive, making sure that shield was up, having Reinhardt ults going into his shield, making sure that doesn't get any of his teammates, the kills that he was getting, swinging his hammer. He was underrated, but he definitely deserves a shout out because Bro Monkey did help Overwatch Divas ultimately take the champion in a 4-0 sweep. So
Completely agreed.
yeah, so I mean that's gonna wrap the stream up. Once again, OW Divas 4-0 sweeps Zarya Academy with a tie being in the first match on Eichenwald. MVP goes to Matt Gruber. For anybody that wasn't listening about 5 minutes ago, this is the end of season 1. Season 2 starts, I believe, what was it, July 16th or 19th?
I think it was the 16th.
16th.
Okay,
Yep.
so July 16th, 2017, we have teams coming in from left and right. It's going to be huge. Big improvements to the second season here. So everybody that's been a part of season 1, thank you. I want to give another big shout out to Jay because, again, without him, this wouldn't have been possible. But all right, everybody, have a good night.